Hello, everyone. I'm Carly Heath, and I'm going to be showing you how to edit music in Adobe Premiere. And we're going to take a long music track and we're going to shrink it down to 30 seconds like you would do for a 30-second commercial. I'm going to hop into Premiere now and let's get started. So you'll make a project just by clicking the new project link, and you're going to browse to, the folder that you are saving all of your work in. In this case, we're using UXI 125, and I'll just make a little folder for our project. Okay, and then we're going to click choose, and then we're going to go and name it. Let's call it UXI 125 underscore, because we never use spaces in our file name, and put your name on it. And then click OK. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to let this think and make that project. And I'm just using all the default settings for now. We'll change them a little bit later. And first, we're going to import the music files into this. So we're going to go File, and then we're going to go to Import. And you have a number of music files to choose from. I'm going to use this deep blue one and import it into the project. Once you import it into the project, it goes in the bin over here on the left side. And if there's any windows here that you are not seeing, or that you're seeing on my screen but it's not showing up on your screen, go up to Window, Workspaces, and you can click Reset to save to layout, and that should do the trick. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to click and drag and drop this video track into our sequence, and the sequence is where your footage, your final commercial is all going to be assembled. And as you can see right now, I can use this little scrubber down here to zoom in and zoom out of my project. So I can see this up close and I can see this far away. Okay. And so that's, as you can see, my music track is over 4 minutes long. A little time there and there is showing us how long this is. We will only need 30 seconds for a commercial. So the easiest way to shrink this down is by stealing just the last 30 seconds of the song, because then you have the music reaching a logical conclusion right at the end of your commercial. So I'm going to estimate about where 30 seconds is. I'm going to shrink this down by clicking on the front of my timeline and or my track, and then just shrinking it like that. And now I'll bring this to the beginning of my track. And I'll put my little current time indicator, that's this blue thing here. That's like the play button. As you can see, I made it about 30 seconds, 39 seconds. So we got to shrink it down some more. I'm going to zoom in to my project so I can see things up close. And I'm going to go to the front. So we got to cut about 9 seconds off this beginning part here. So we'll go about there. Let's see if that does the trick. So I'm just kind of cutting off the beginning there. Let's bring this current time indicator. Oh, we're so close. We got to cut off 1 second. So we go to the front. We do a little of that. Move it. Let's see where we are at now. Oh, like we just got to cut 5 frames off this. So we got to go up to the front, trim off 1, 2, 3. So you can see on the little gray bar there about how much you're cutting off. We're just cutting off 5 frames, like not even a second. No, put it back to the front there. And there we have, move this. Cool. There we have 30 seconds. So I'm just going to cut off this little part here because there's nothing you can tell by the little audio symbol there that there's nothing playing anyway. Okay, so now let's play it. Let's just make sure that this makes sense. So we click on our current time indicator here. We move it to the beginning. Let's just listen to it. I'm going to hit the space bar to play. Very dramatic, very minimal, gives us an underwater vibe for sure. So now what we're going to do is we're going to fade into the music and then fade out again. And if you're not already, go up to the top of your Premiere and click on the Effects tab right there. Double click on that. That brings up your Effects panel. And we're going to go to audio transitions over here. So you should be able to see your effects panel. If you don't, you can go to window up at the top of the screen and then click on effects and the effects panel will come up. Then what you're going to do is go to the audio transitions. You'll click on the little chevron next to audio transitions. You'll click on the little chevron next to crossfade, and I'll show you a couple. You can feel free to play around and listen to all of these. I like the exponential fade for the end. We'll drag that and we just drag it onto the timeline. And really, all of them are pretty good. Let's just see constant gain for the beginning. Just drag it on there, plop it in there, and we listen. There we go. And this is what the fade looks like at the end. Oh, the way I chose this music is it's really silent at the end. So yeah, not going to hear the fade. If you do end with music at the end, you will hear the fade out. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to export this as a MP4, MP3, or a WAV file. And so we'll go File, Export, Media, wait for it. And for format, we can do, QuickTime is great. MP3 is great. Let's do MP3. We'll rename it because we don't want to name it the same as our music. So we'll call this UXI 125 music. Maybe I'll call it music trimmed, and put your name on it. Notice how I'm putting little underscores so that we don't have spaces in our file name. .mp3. Okay, and now we're going to hit export. Exported successfully. Let's go and take a look at this in our project folder. We're going to go listen to this using QuickTime. So I'm going to Control open with QuickTime Player. There we go. And that is what you are going to be turning in. Alrighty, have fun. Be sure to, before you exit out of Premiere, save your native file. So go File, Save, because we've already named it. That way you have everything the way that you need it for when you open up this project next time and add some video footage. Alrighty, enjoy.